Okay, so to demonstrate the team function of the game, I've put myself back as the leader of the infantry section. And what I'll do is I have 8 members in my team, so if I wanted to split my team in half, essentially what I could do is make four, two, basically two 4-man fire teams. And that's what I'm planning to do. If you come to this team menu here by pressing 9, you'll see you can either select team by going to the team menu by pressing 9 again and select whatever team uh, you have identified or whatever team you have um, created. And by default, you're always the white team. So by default, your team is always going to be the white team. The choices are red, green, blue, yellow, and white. But by default, you're always going to be white. So I'm going to assign a team red. And word of advice with assigning teams, you want to make them between your F1, F2, F3, F4 buttons so that when you press, it's easy to select a different team by pressing those buttons with the shift. Um, so basically, I am a squad leader, but number 2 is a team leader, and he's a sergeant, so I will make number 2 lead one of the other fire teams. So number 2 can lead the fire team of the other, or number 2 can lead fire team red, which is what I'm going to create right now. So fire team red will consist of number 2, number 3, number 4, and one more. Uh, Number 5. And I will lead the other fire team. So by selecting those soldiers, I go and I press 9, and after I've selected soldiers, I can assign a team to them. And I want to assign them Team Red. So now 2, 3, and 4, and 5 are Team Red. So I've now created another fire team. Now, even though I've created a fire team, if I press the spacebar, I select all of them. Uh, if I press Shift and F2 to select the fire team, if I select any, if I use the Shift key to select any of those F keys for the team members, who's anyone in Team Red, either Shift F2, F3, F4, F5, I'll select that fire team. I made it F2 so that I could select Shift F2 and I could select a fire team that way. The other method is you could select everyone and then press Shift F2 and deselect that fire team, and I can command now fire team white instead of fire team red. So basically, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and tell uh, fire team red to move to that location, and fire team white to move to that location. So both fire teams will move to those respective locations. And what I'll do next is I'll order fire team red to board as a passenger the back of the um, Land Rover, and I will order one of my soldiers from fire team white to enter as the driver of the Land Rover. So you'll see how teams come in useful. So I'll order fire team red to board the Land Rover, and as a passenger, riding back basically means passenger. I told my section to hold fire because I just identified a enemy man about 500 meters away. I don't want to engage anything yet. So, alright. So fire team red has boarded the Land Rover. I can then have a member of my fire team white board as the driver of that Land Rover. But what I really want to show the functionality of this team assignment is when you're grouped with vehicles, because it comes in really, really handy. So what I will do is I will place a vehicle under my control in my team. I will make it a Warrior IFV, I suppose, because I want to have enough room for all my men. So I'll make it Armored Desert Warrior 2. And it'll be in formation. And it's grouped to me, so I will be leading it, although there's 3 members in it as crew. I will be in command of it by being its squad leader. So now, because my rank is less, I'm actually number 3, and number 1 is the captain in the Warrior IFV. So what I'll go ahead and do is actually make my rank higher, because I'm a sergeant, so I'll make myself a major. That way I am number 1 instead of number 3. And as you can see, I'm now number 1 instead of number 3. So, and I can do the same with number 4, because I also want number 4 to be high up on the hierarchy list. Instead of making him a sergeant, I'll make him a major. I'll make myself a colonel, actually. Okay. So this is just for rank purposes. Your rank essentially is what determines your hierarchy in the listing of units, if you will. So, what I will do is I'll make another fire team, Team Red, right? Just like before. Make number 2 the leader. It will consist of 2, 6, 7, and 8. And there will be Fire Team Red. So now I have 2 fire teams in my infantry section, Team Red and Team White. I'm in control of Team White. My second in command, also known as my team leader, is in charge of Team Red. I also want to create another group for the Warrior, and that will be Team whatever the next sequential color is. So that will be number 3, 4, and 5, and there will be Team Green. Actually, I think I will change from Team Green because it's kind of hard to see with the GUI. So I will make them Team Blue. So now if I shift F2, I will select Team Red, right? And if I shift F3, I will select the Warrior IFV. So what I'll go ahead and do is order everyone into the Warrior IFV. I will tell everyone except for the Warrior to be in danger mode once they get in, and also to fire at will. We'll go and clear that village quite well. And actually, I have to tell the Warrior to halt, because it is still acting like it is in formation. And because of that, okay, now I can't actually get into the Warrior IFV, unfortunately, because there's no room anymore. So what I'll do is command the Warrior IFV to go to the town. And I will tell everyone except for them danger. And to fire at will. And what I'll do is I'll follow with the Land Rover. So wherever 3 is, who is right behind me actually, I'll follow him with the Land Rover. Essentially what I'm trying to show is the benefit of using the team function. It's just a basic way of splitting your squad apart, but it's more like an organization tool than anything else. But it's a pretty good one. It is quite useful at times. So I told number 3 to go to that center of the village over there, which he should be doing. Now again, AI pathfinding is sometimes an issue, but he is in alert status, so he is not going to stick to the roads necessarily all the time. So I'm just going to follow him, make sure that okay, now I'm actually taking fire. So what I'm going to do is order my warrior to stop and order everyone except for my warrior crew to disembark. Now, my warrior is also covering the troops as they're disembarking. As you can see, the troops are disembarking and the warrior is opening fire. What I will do is order Team Red to go to the center of the town, and I'll order Team White to go over here. And just like I'm ordering Team Red and Team White around, I can also order Team Blue around, who would be my warrior, to do different things as well. And the objective is to just have better fire and movement of Team Red, Team White, and the warrior, and basically have my section have more of a combined arms ability. So while they're doing that, I will go ahead and tell my warrior to come over here to this road. So if you hold control down while you're giving commands, it will continue having the unit selected, so you can give it an additional command. It's not going to give them sequential waypoints, but you can have the unit selected once they move somewhere. You can tell them to move somewhere else without having them deselected. What I'll do is have him move over here. So go ahead and do that. And while he's doing that, essentially the warrior IFV is right now looking down the road and is covering that area. And I can have Team Red, or any other team really, Team Red, Team White, start to advance. And actually Team Red right now is going to cross the road. So let's go see them cross the road. This is more of a fire and movement demonstration with the team function. You can split your teams apart. As you can see, I have Team Blue in the warrior. Team Blue is basically the crew of the warrior, and they're over there. Team Red is going to be crossing the road right now, and this is them crossing the road. And Team White is back there. They're covering Team Red's advancement. So what I'll do right now is have Team White come over here and have Team Red move over there. And the thing about it is sometimes, I mean, you can give move commands through the map and also by just clicking on the ground around you. Clicking on the ground around you is certainly a faster way to give commands. It's probably maybe more accurate. Clicking on the map is general. If you're farther away and you cannot see the ground around you, then you need to click on the map. So Team Red and Team White are essentially going to similar areas. I'm going to have Team White actually come and flank to the east. So Team White will actually come over here. And the object of this is basically just to have fire team movement. So I have two fire teams and they're moving independently from each other, but they're still working with each other in a sense. And so anyways, the idea of team movement is to better organize in larger squads your movement of fire teams. So you can select in a larger squad As I have 12 men, actually 11 men in this squad, in this infantry section I'm commanding, you can actually move. Basically, I had eight-man infantry section, and I split them into two 4-man fire teams, and I could basically have their fire teams move independently from each other, and just have a better control over what's going on. Essentially, what I can also do is split the 4-man fire team into a 2-man fire team as well. So for that, I'll use 8 and 7, and I'll assign them Team Yellow. And now I can assign 8 and 7 to move somewhere, and 2 and 6 to move somewhere. And although they're not in the same fire team anymore necessarily, because I've given them different teams, they can still act like a 4-man fire team, and then if necessary, split up into a 2-man fire team for bounding movements. So what I'll go ahead and do is tell 7A to move over here, and I'll tell Team Red to move over here. And what you'll notice is one person having a bounding movement and the other covering. So the idea would be to have a 2-man fire team instead of a 4-man fire team. So basically split the 4-man in half as well. Right, so I think that covers team movement. And if you want to negate everything you've done with assigning people teams, all you have to do is come here and say assign white. And again, everyone is now the default team, which is white. When you press spacebar, you select everyone. And you select everyone whenever you press spacebar. But if you shift click someone, there's no effect because it's team white, and team white is the default team. So everyone has basically lost their team assignments. Right, so as far as team assignments go, that's it.